In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a team select. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go to our teams, and we're going to click the plus, and we're going to insert a team. We're actually going to do 3 teams, so duplicate this twice. One of them is going to be called police, the other one's going to be called neutral, and then the last one's going to be called criminal. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually turn off auto assign on the criminal and the auto assign on the police, because we don't want it to assign it to them. We want to make a team select, and we're going to make the police blue, and we're going to make the criminal orange. We can just leave the white we can just leave this team how it is. I'm just going to make it a little darker though. Let's make it a fossil. We're going to keep auto assign on as it's the neutral team. It's the team that they're waiting on. And we're just going to close our teams. And what we're going to do next is go to our workspace, and we're actually going to scroll all the way down, and we're going to make streaming enabled is off. So make sure it's off. And then we're going to start creating our UI. So let's do that. Alright, now that our UI is done, we're going to make sure the police and the criminal have the exact same names as our teams that we created in our team service. So we're going to name police the name of our team which we want it to be given to, so police. And then the criminal is going to be called criminal, as that's our team name, criminal. Make sure the spelling's correct and everything's correct. You basically do the correct formatting, criminal. And now we're going to actually insert a script inside our team select, local script, because in UI we always use local scripts. And now we're just going to delete all of this, both with buttons. Instead of doing that twice, we can actually do it once, and we can do it once by getting both of the buttons. So we can do a loop that gets everything by doing for iv in pairs, and then anything in here it gets that one by one. So in our case we want everything in our team select. So script refers to the local script. If we do .parent, it refers to our screen GUI, which is our team select. So we want to so now that we have everything in here, we just want the text buttons. So we can check if V is a text button. So if V is a, make sure to do get children, because we want to actually get the children. And then we can do if V is a, and then we wanted a text button. So if V is a text button, then so now we're referring to both of these, and when it's clicked, so like I was saying before, when the V, which now refers to one of these buttons, so since it's getting it one by one, it refers to basically both, but yeah. So when V is clicked, so mouse button 1 clicked, we're going to connect this into a function. And what we want to happen is for it to fire a remote event that changes our team. So we're going to go into replicated storage, we're going to click on the plus, and we're going to insert a remote event, and we're just going to name this changer. And then we're just going to do game.replicated-storage.changer, which is the remote event. We're going to fire it. And what remote events are, it carries information from, in our case, from a local script to a normal script, and then what we want to pass through is the name of our name of our button, because that's the name of our team. We made sure that our team name is the same name as our buttons, so we can just pass through the name of the button, which in our case V refers to our button. So V, since V is our button, it refers to our button. V dot name, and we can close the script for now. We can also put our team select inside of replicated storage. We're going to go to our players, and we're going to go into our properties tab, and we're going to turn off character auto loads, so the character doesn't load. So we don't want our character to load until they selected a team, so you're going to turn that off. Now we're going to insert a normal script inside of server script service, since that's one of the places normal scripts work. And we're just going to name this main, since this is going to be our main script that we're going to be using, and we're just going to remove all of this. And since in here, since the player character cannot load or anything like that, before we do any of our code for our team changer, we're going to make it so if the character did load the first time around, and then if they did reset, then they can reload again. So when the player is added, game.players.player added, connect that into a function, and we're going to name that player, because when someone joins, they are referred to as a player, or whatever you want to name them. In my case, I'm just going to put PLR, which is player. And when the player, their character is added, we're going to connect this into a function. So now all of this is going to happen, and we want to make it so when if they die, then we want the character to auto load after the respawn amount, after the respawn time. So we can do player. Actually, we can just put char up here, since this now refers to our character. So our character, because every character has a humanoid, and in the humanoid we have the health, so we can use a event called died. So when it's died, we can connect this into a function, connect function. So now this is going to happen. So now this function is going to happen when the character dies. So when they die, we're going to wait the amount of respawn time. And if we go to our players and we check, there is something called respawn time. So we can use that number, but instead of manually typing it, we can just do game.players respawn time, and now that gets the amount of respawn time, which in our case is 3. So it waits 3 seconds, and then we can just load our player. So player load character. So now when if the player exists, then if they die, then they just respawn. And now let's actually do our team changer. Since we fired a remote event in our team select, as you can see here, we fire a remote event, we can actually catch what was being fired. So again, we can do game.replicated storage. So this goes in replicated storage. It's now going to get the team changer, so .changer. So now this gets the changer remote event. And if you do one of the events here is on server event. Basically means when you fire it, you can catch it using on server event, and then you can connect this to a function. It tells you the first thing will always be player. So if you're firing a remote event from a local script, even if you don't include the player, even if you include nothing, even if you include something, if you don't, it's always going to give you the player no matter what. So you always should have player at the start if you're firing from a remote event, if you're firing a remote event from a local script, and then your actual information. So in my case it's our team. So now that we have our player and we have our team, we can actually check if our player is in the neutral team, and if they are, then we can change their team to the one that is being sent. So we can do if statement. So if our player, if their team, so player.team, if it's equal to the team of neutral, So game.teams, since teams is a service, .neutral, so if it's our neutral team, then this code will happen. And what this code is going to be is just going to be our team changer. So it's going to do our player.team is going to just normally equal to, it's going to equal our team. Here we use two equals to signs as it's an if statement, and we're doing a check, and then here we actually change it. What we're also going to do is, since the UI will not show up on our screen as our character auto load is off, our team changer, our team select is inside of replicated storage. So we can do game.replicated storage, and then we can do wait for child, our team select, and then we can just clone it because we don't want to move it to our player, because then others won't be able to use it. We want everybody to have their own. And then we can set its parent, which means where it is in the world, to our player, not to our player, but our player GUI, which is where all of the UI goes after the game starts. This is the name of our team. This isn't actually our team. So our player team is going to go into our teams service. So game onto our teams. So game.teams, and normally you do dot and then you'd pick your team, but in our case we can't do that. But we can do a bracket and then our team, which basically is like dot team, which basically gets our team name from our team, and it's basically easy way of getting our team using a bracket. Our team, so make sure to do player load character. We're also going to do one more thing. We're going to set up a camera. So I'm going to position my Roblox Studio camera where I want it to be, and then I'm going to create a part without moving my camera, and this part is going to have the position of all of this. So I'm just going to copy this. Studio seems to be bugging, but set your camera position, not just position but also orientation, which means rotation of your part, to also be the same as your camera. And now if I turn away, my camera is facing the camera position is now the part position, but there's a shadow, so we're just going to turn off shadow. We want it to be invisible, so we're going to turn off transparency, which means change it to 1. The higher the number, the more transparent. So 0.2, 0.2, I can't, 0.2, 0.56. The more you do, the more transparent. We're also going to turn off can collide, which means you cannot collide with it. And we're going to name this camera. And since there's already a camera in our workspace, so we're going to just name this camera spawn. And we're going to make sure it's anchored. Always make sure it's anchored. Now we're going to go back into our local script above the code that we wrote. We're going to set our camera position to scriptable, which means we can edit its stuff, edit its settings. So workspace.current camera, so our current camera, the camera type of it. So we're going to change the type of the camera to something. We're going to use enum.camera type, which basically gives us the options of camera types we could use. And we're going to do scriptable, which basically means now the camera is so we can just do workspace.currentCamera.cFrame, because cFrame contains position and orientation, so it's just all in one combined. How great for us, isn't that right? So our cFrame is just going to equal to our workspace dot camera spawn dot cFrame. So now our cFrame of our current camera is going to equal to our camera spawn. It's going to equal to our part. But when we click on our button, we want it to be returned normal. So we're just gonna do we're just gonna copy the code up here. So copy, and we're gonna paste it here. But instead of it being scriptable, it's gonna be fixed. So it's just gonna go back to its normal state. It's just basically gonna fix itself. And now if we click on one of our teams, our UI goes away. I am now on the police team, and if I reset, as you can see, the UI does not come back, and my camera is now fixed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.